While women love Pookies and bad boys. It's really simple, to be honest with you. It's a little nuance to it, but it's quite simple. And the first reason, I'm just get straight to it. The first reason is daddy issues. A lot of times when you don't have a proper example of what a man is, you think the hyper masculinity of what a Pookie or a bad boy displays is real masculinity. So you tend to drift to that. Really, because that's what media and has promoted that masculinity is. Is it true? No. But that's what gets them hot. Especially when they're not mature. That's what gets them hot. It is what it is. That's the first reason. When you don't have that proper example of what true masculinity is in the household, that's what you tend to go for. What society tells you to go for. What society tells you what a man is. That rawness, that edginess, that lawlessness, that rebel. That's what excites them. It is what it is. Like I said, especially if you didn't have a father in the home for you to be able to decipher what a real man is versus what the media has told you, that's what you're going to pick. Especially when your friends and society reinforces that. Now here comes the nuance. The second reason is Pookie doesn't hold her accountable for growth. Again, Pookie doesn't hold her accountable for growth. When a woman approaches a real man or a good man or a man that's growing, elevated, whatever the case is, directly or indirectly, he's going to force her to grow. Again, directly or indirectly, he's going to force her to grow. And if a woman is not ready to grow, ready to elevate, ready to be her highest self, that's going to be intimidating. If you sitting there going to the gym, limiting the alcohol and drugs that you do, you going to work, you getting your sleep, you drinking your water, you praying, you meditating, you spiritually aligned, you don't have no bad, influences of people around you, you doing what you're supposed to be doing, you working on your business. If you have all these things lined up, that can be intimidating to a woman who's not on that level. That can be very intimidating. So she chooses the Pookie or the bad boy. Why? He don't have that much going on. Besides his little hustle and messing with this thought on the side or this thought on the side, he ain't got too much going on. So the biggest thing she got to worry about is, him using her car, not filling up the gas, or it smell like weed, or him having a little thought on the side. She ain't got too much to worry about. So she's not intimidated. Pookie doesn't force her to grow, to be her highest self. Again, Pookie doesn't force her to grow when she's around him. She doesn't feel that pressure. So she likes that. Pookie doesn't hold her accountable, directly or indirectly. When you're around a guy who's about his business, he's going to be accountable for his actions. When he messes up, you're like, damn, I messed up. And now when you mess up, you turn around, now you got that mirror to your face, you're like, damn, I got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to take accountability for your actions. But a lot of times when you deal with a Pookie, they put the accountability on somebody else. So now it's easy for you to rely on with that because that's easy for you to do. Not take accountability. Third reason, dopamine. Yeah, the dopamine rush. When a lot of young girls, or a lot of women, period, have not fully matured, they still seek that dopamine high. Again, why women are choosing bad boys and Pookies is because they are seeking that dopamine high. I promise you, a lot of women who choose the Pookies and bad boys are still the same ones who scrolling on their phone all the time. And the reason why they're scrolling all the time, that zombie scrolling, is because they're looking for the next dopamine hit. That's all it is. It's dopamine. That dopamine getting risen or is rising because he might be cheating. So now this is excitement. Him getting into trouble, this is excitement. Y'all arguing, this is excitement. Him stealing from you, this is excitement. Him mistreating you, this is excitement. All these are high dopamine levels that's just shooting through the roof. Like she's getting all the coke that she could have and just, it's fun, it's exciting, it's exhilarating. Driving fast, doing this, being reckless, dodging, death. All this is high dopamine levels. So is her safety at risk? Yes, but the dopamine is overriding that. So somebody logical with who's matured mentally understands that this may be right, maybe heightening your dopamine, maybe feeding your dopamine. This ain't safe for you. There's no positive ending to this. But when you're not fully matured, especially when a young girl or a woman is not matured, because you can still be 30, 40, 50 and still not be mentally matured, you indirectly seeking that dopamine. A good guy or whatever the case may be may not have that dopamine rush like a Pookie. That guy is waking up in the morning every day, same time, going to the gym, going to work, getting his money, reading his books. There's not a lot of dopamine in that. It's kind of flatline. That's why they say good guys are boring. Because it's the same routine, or it's routine that's letting you be your higher self. See, when you're on a journey to be your higher self, it's not a lot of dopamine. It's boring. It's the same thing day in, day out. But it's a steady incline. And that's boring. But it's safe and it's real. And it gets you to where you want to be in life. But like I said, that's for the mature mind. The immature mind is not caring about that. The immature mind don't care about the future. The immature mind don't care if their life is at risk. All they're looking is for their next dopamine hit. Why you think they always checking through Pookie's phone knowing Pookie cheating? It's because they bored. They're looking for that dopamine hit. So they're trying to find something to start the argument. They need that dopamine hit. That's why they like Pookie, because they can talk down on Pookie because they know they are better than Pookie. I'm leading to this next. But they know that they're better than Pookie, so they can talk down on him and start an argument. Why? Because now they're getting that dopamine hit. It's truth. And like I just said, a lot of times they get with Pookie because they feel superior to Pookie. When they get with a man who's doing his thing, like I said, it can be intimidating. So in order to beat that intimidation factor, they get in a situation where they can be the intimidator. That's why you see women with good jobs and 401k, nice apartments and all this type of shit. And you still wondering like, why is she still dealing with this nigga? The truth is because if she gets somebody who's equal or better than her, she's not going to feel good. It's going to expose her for things that she's not ready to heal, for things that she's not ready to fix. So she chooses the Pookie. She chooses the bad boy. Because she knows off the rip, she has more upward mobility than he ever will have. A lot of times this is true. Now, can Pookie change? Yeah. But what I'm saying is she has more upward mobility at that time than he does. She has her place in society more than he does. She has security more than he does. So for her, that feels great. She's at the top of the food chain in this dynamic. She's the breadwinner in this dynamic. She's the prize in this dynamic. A lot of women are intimidated if they're in a situation, quote unquote, and the guy can be somewhat the prize. And a lot of people know who the prize is in this situation. Don't let people fool you. A lot of people know both people can be a prize, or one person can be the prize, nobody can be the prize. But in these situations where women choose the Pookie, it's because they know they are the prize in that situation. Pookie goes around, yeah, my girl got a good job, she got benefits, she got a car, she got a this, she got a this. That makes her feel good. But if you flip the script and she gets with somebody she's intimidated by, or she feels less than by, she's not gonna be happy. Let the man that she wants, really, really wants, have two jobs or has a good job. He has two houses and 4 cars and a boat and a this and a this. She's gonna feel insecure. She's gonna feel inadequate if she's not healed. If she's not her true woman. If she's not really rising up in her femininity, she's gonna feel intimidated. She may feel that he can leave, he can cheat, she's not good enough. It's whatever plays off in her head of her insecurities. That's why she doesn't want to be with the good guy. She'd rather choose the Pookie. It's because she feels superior. She feels superior in these situations. And the last reason is unresolved trauma. A lot of women have unresolved trauma from when they were younger. So when you have unresolved trauma from old relationships and things of that sort, when you were immature, you imprinted by that. You imprinted by that trauma. You imprinted by that young boy who treated you wrong. And deep down, you still seeking validation. You still seeking validation that you were a good girl. Or you can't, that situation wasn't you. It was him. You stuck in this trauma loop of trying to fix somebody because you don't want to fix yourself. You stuck in this trauma loop because you don't want to elevate. You don't want to rise. You don't want to be better. And this is not me, you know what I'm saying, shitting on the Pookies or bad boys or anything of that sort. I'm not doing that. But it's just telling the realness of the dynamic. A lot of women have unresolved trauma. And then when they get with that good guy, that mirror pops up now. And some people are not mentally ready or mature to handle those situations. Like I said, they may not be adequate enough or may feel inferior. They may try to play this fix 'em role because they was in an old situation with old Pookie and they want that validation, situational validation. It's trauma that they're trying to fight, they're trying to fix. It's their ego. Hey, like I said, I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just me being observant of the situation. Let me know how y'all feel. Am I right? Am I wrong? Truth? Lying? What y'all think? You know what? It's your favorite cousin Rich. Y'all be safe out there. Love and blessings.